It began as the sky dimmed across continents, sunlight swallowed by a wall of metal stretching from horizon to horizon. People stared upward, forgetting even to scream, as every device in every hand flickered with a message that wasn't human. The words boomed in every language, emotionless and absolute. Surrender. Serve the Empire. Resist, and Earth will become memory. Leaders in war rooms barked into phones, their faces ghost pale under the harsh light. Satellites winked out, global networks fell silent except for 1 feet alien ships hovering over every capital, their forms unrecognizable, lit by flickers of energy that bent the air itself. A countdown began. Humanity was given 10 hours to comply. Across the world, panic bloomed in waves, families rushing to gather, sirens echoing through cities, soldiers deployed, old nuclear keys dusted off. But in bedrooms and living rooms, millions stared at the alien broadcast and felt something else spark beneath the fear. It was absurd, almost comical, the Empire's leader, draped in glittering robes, gesturing with tentacled arms, threatening annihilation with the drama of a soap opera villain. The first meme landed online, a split screen of the Emperor and a children's cartoon octopus. Then came another, when your Wi-Fi goes down and you threaten to destroy civilization. A late-night host, streaming from a bunker, snorted at the Empire's epic space shoulder pads. The internet caught fire. By hour 2, #OctoOverlords trended worldwide. Jokes cut through dread like light in a storm. Alien envoys watched Earth's response with confusion. Their instructions, intimidate, demonstrate, subjugate, weren't working. Instead, the Empire's posturing became fodder for comedians, TikTokers, and schoolchildren doodling alien caricatures on torn math homework. The Empire tried to double down. Live feeds switched to show their power, buildings levitated and spun gently in the air, a city park's pond turned to steam, a single bolt of light carving a warning sigil into the side of Everest. For a moment, a hush held the world. Then someone overlaid circus music on the footage, posted it to every screen, and the silence shattered with laughter. In a war room, a general slammed his fist and demanded order. But outside, laughter was contagious. People painted alien faces on windows, posted videos of mock surrender ceremonies featuring rubber chickens and tinfoil crowns. At a global summit, a delegate dared to wear a t-shirt that read, "Take me to your meme leader." The Empire's broadcast intensified. Their leader mocked human primitive courage, predicting Earth's civilization would break within the hour. But the more he threatened, the more humanity doubled down. Anchors struggled to keep straight faces as alien messages scrolled below. In subways, strangers exchanged one-liners about abductions in space fashion. Laughter and terror existed side by side, but humor kept winning. In the digital darkness, the world felt lighter. Students projected cartoons onto the walls of empty schools. Medical workers on the front lines sent each other Empire jokes to steel their nerves. In a quiet neighborhood, a child drew a chalk mural on the sidewalk, a smiling blue alien, holding hands with a stick figure human. Underneath, the words, "We're not scared, we're just laughing too hard." Empire analysts scanned the broadcasts, searching for signs of submission, but found only parodies and remixes. Their officers hissed over encrypted lines, baffled that fear was losing to mockery. As the countdown slipped past 0, Earth's answer was not surrender, nor chaos, but a world united in defiance, every household echoing with laughter. The Empire, for the first time in its long reign, faced an enemy that refused to cower, an enemy that weaponized joy. And the human race, with a joke on its lips and fire in its heart, stared back at the darkness and laughed. The Empire responded swiftly, turning to methods that had subjugated 100 worlds before. Night fell early over cities as power grids buckled under alien control, screens filled with spirals and commands meant to burrow into the human mind, to suffocate laughter. An edict echoed in every language: no gatherings, no speaking after sundown, curfew enforced by hovering sentinels. Empire officers expected silence, isolation, terror to settle in like a plague. Yet as darkness spread, so did the resistance. From rooftop to rooftop, laughter flickered like distant thunder. Across alleys, voices traded jokes instead of secrets. Homemade transmitters hijacked alien signals, broadcasting nothing but parodies of the Empire's orders, turning threats into punchlines and propaganda into open mic material. Drones were greeted by banners waving, "Keep calm and beam up." Alien broadcasts, meant to spread fear, became the opening act for a wave of underground comedy shows. Musicians sampled the Emperor's voice into dance tracks, his dramatic warnings looped into the soundtrack of defiance. Children staged mock trials for plush toy invaders, sentencing them to a lifetime of tickles. Even the elderly joined, knitting alien caricatures onto scarves and mittens sent to the front lines. The Empire's soldiers, tasked with suppressing humor, became unwitting targets for mischief. Patrols found themselves walking into mazes of balloons labeled panic buttons. Empire-issued posters, plastered with menacing slogans, were replaced overnight with stickers offering free hug to any alien who tries to invade. Surrender booths appeared on corners, dispensing whoopee cushions and rubber ducks instead of registration forms. Alien commanders, watching through faceless surveillance, struggled to comprehend. Reports filed back to the mothership grew desperate. Subject population displays abnormal resistance behaviors. Laughter appears contagious. Emotional contagion exceeding predicted models. Officers recorded their own troopers hesitating at jokes scrawled in neon paint, a ripple of chuckles breaking military silence. As the sun rose on another embargoed day, something strange was happening beyond Earth. Videos of human jokes and pranks leaked into the wider empire, smuggled on frequencies thought to be secure. On distant colony worlds, suppressed aliens watched and grinned. A single joke in a mining barracks sparked an outburst. Guards tried to quash it, but the laughter spread, quiet at first, then defiant. In Imperial headquarters, analysts flagged memetic subversion as a Category 1 threat. Back on Earth, the line between resistance and celebration blurred. Impromptu parades took to empty boulevards. Laughter swelled up from crowded basements, bounced off shuttered storefronts, filtered through airwaves into Empire comms. The invaders, unable to adapt, rotated commanders. Their experts, brought in to reassert order, found themselves baffled by viral videos of soldiers tripping over prank banana peels, their terror campaign rebranded as a running gag. Within Empire ranks, a fissure widened. Some soldiers found themselves grinning, just for a moment, at the audacity of their adversaries. A few tried to join in, surreptitiously passing along the human jokes they overheard. A single officer, alone in a control booth, let out an involuntary laugh during a threat broadcast, the sound caught by a monitoring drone and, before it could be erased, transmitted across the Empire's private channels. That laughter, genuine, unchecked, became an anthem. Meanwhile, the flow of jokes turned into a torrent. Satirical sketches animated by anonymous hands ridiculed the Empire's inefficiencies. Schoolchildren created puppets in the shape of their would-be rulers and filmed parodies for a global audience. No face was shown, only hands and shadows, anonymity that bred courage. Each new attempt by the Empire to stifle this movement only fed its fire. Alien strategists scoured their history, searching for precedent. On every other world, terror crushed hope. But Earth was different. Here, mockery disarmed fear, ridicule dissolved authority. The Empire's oldest laws could not explain it, nor could their brightest minds predict the next punchline. In the quiet spaces between jokes, humanity grew bolder. Their laughter crossed borders, races, and languages. For the first time, the Empire saw its own order begin to fracture, not from weapons, but from wit, not by armies, but by an idea that humor is an act of rebellion, and laughter, the sharpest blade. Humiliated and desperate, the Emperor authorized a campaign Earth had never seen. Curfews became lockdowns, all digital channels seized, warning sirens wailing from dawn to dusk. Robot enforcers patrolled every block, scanning for sound, for gatherings, for any trace of that infernal laughter. Alien warships loomed low over cities, their presence promising devastation at the slightest provocation. But instead of silence, the resistance grew louder and bolder. Pirate radio frequencies hijacked the Empire's broadcasts, slipping in comedy sketches and satirical commentary that sent listeners into fits. The Emperor's voice was chopped and remixed, turned into the chorus for a new anthem that played through hidden speakers, a song so infectious that, soon, even Empire foot soldiers caught themselves humming the melody before snapping back to attention. Comedians coordinated online, always faceless, always anonymous. Each day, someone new hosted an invasion roast, mocking the Empire's culture, their technology, their pitiful understanding of what made humans tick. The jokes weren't just for laughs, they were battle cries, rallying points, lifelines for those cornered by fear. When the Empire tried to arrest the ringleaders, they found only empty rooms, walls plastered with sticky notes. Try again tomorrow, comedy never dies. In neighborhoods, children devised bad joke zones, baiting patrols into triggering confetti bursts, buckets of water, or cascades of rubber balls. Adults programmed drones to spray harmless glitter at alien mechs, each incident captured and posted to underground feeds. Mock wanted posters went up, promising rewards for the Empire's most humorless officer. Empire morale faltered. Commanders barked orders only to be met with deadpan retorts, viral memes, and, in the worst cases, outright laughter. Secret reports described a contagion of joy spreading among the ranks. A soldier dispatched to disperse a laughing crowd returned infected, unable to suppress giggles during a status report. Attempts to root out this behavioral corruption failed, as even the medics began to swap one-liners and joke compilations during shift changes. Desperate to regain control, the Emperor prepared a planet-wide address. This time, his speech would not be interrupted. Alien security locked down all airwaves, military sensors on full alert. The transmission began his stern, alien visage warning of mass consequences for continued resistance. The words, however, were no longer his. Someone had hacked the broadcast, swapping his speech for a series of dad jokes and slapstick sound effects. For the first time, the Emperor lost his composure on air. The Empire's illusion of invincibility cracked, live for the galaxy to see. Far beyond Earth, the spectacle spread. Non-human subjects of the Empire tuned in, expecting grim warnings, but instead found a galactic ruler reduced to farce. Laughter erupted in hidden slums, in mining colonies, in the gilded halls of conquered worlds. Satirical graffiti appeared overnight, the Emperor with a clown nose, the war fleet as balloon animals. Oppressed aliens tested the limits of their own chains, small rebellions, private jokes, a refusal to stay afraid. Within the Empire's command ships, discipline unraveled. Arguments broke out among officers. Some demanded harsher measures, others, smirking, asked what punchline was next. Old grudges surfaced, trust dissolved. The unthinkable happened, a high-ranking commander removed his insignia, laid down his weapon, and laughed. His image, captured by surveillance and shared across 1,000 channels, became the symbol of something new. Not surrender, but liberation through joy. The Empire, forged in fear and obedience, now faced a force it could neither predict nor suppress. Human humor proved more viral than any broadcast, more resilient than any army. With every new joke, every prank, every irreverent act, the scales shifted further. The story reached its tipping point, fear was no longer contagious. Laughter was. The foundation of the Empire split, fractures running through every command, every regiment. Officers tried to reassert control, but messages came back garbled, filled with laughter from every corner of the fleet. Mutinies sparked without warning, triggered by nothing more than a shared joke, a snort, a forbidden grin. The Emperor's own council was silent, faces turned away, unwilling to risk the next viral punchline at their expense. Earth watched as the once mighty fleet retreated, engines howling. Over empty skies, banners unfurled, colored with every joke, every meme, every bold refusal. Thank you for visiting Earth, come back with a better script. Ships left not to the sound of alarms, but the echo of joy, the sound that had toppled an empire. What began as a survival tactic became a revolution. On distant worlds, in factories and schools and temples, laughter took root. Oppressed peoples found power in parody, slipping jokes into lessons, turning derision into song. An idea spread, that tyrants cannot withstand ridicule, that hope is loudest when whispered in defiance. Whole planets rose up, casting off overseers who no longer inspired terror but became the butt of a joke. Humanity's leaders addressed the galaxy, voices blended, never one face. We chose to laugh, and so can you. Freedom is a punchline shared by the brave. No list of demands, no call to arms, just a contagious sense that dignity is found in daring to smile. Years passed. Statues stood not of conquerors but of faceless figures caught in mid-laugh, eyes bright with rebellion. Children from every world studied the day laughter toppled fear, stories whispered of the blue planet that taught the stars to laugh. Old wounds healed faster in the presence of joy. Even in former palaces, the emperor's throne sat empty, draped in ribbons and jokes written in 100 languages. Humans looked upward with pride, but not with arrogance. The lesson was shared, not owned, a truth for all: the most dangerous weapon is hope wrapped in humor, an idea that leaps borders and breaks chains. Where power demanded silence, a single chuckle became a revolution. In the end, the galaxy didn't remember the names of those who first mocked the invaders, or the author of the funniest meme. It remembered only the feeling: a world trembling with laughter, tyrants trembling with fear. The moment when darkness broke and the universe discovered that no empire can ever outlast the sound of free people laughing together.